hated that so much. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. No, okay. Hi guys, welcome back. Today, I have a special guest.
Hello.
You already know who this is. I mean, come on, it's Sophie. We were roommates last year, still my bestie. So today we're doing a fun sit-down video. I don't really do videos like this ever, but I had this idea a few weeks ago, and I was like, I'm gonna make it happen. I think it's fun. Since it's fall season, even though I'm sweating, it's literally like 80 degrees outside.
Hot.
We're coming to you from my backyard, and hopefully the audio's good. We decided to go to a pumpkin patch, and we're gonna paint
pumpkins. Up these little guys.
So we're gonna paint some pumps. And while we paint them, we thought we would spill some tea.
Not just any tea.
Some boy tea. We decided to share some boy stories because we have a few up our sleeves that are interesting and just fun to share. Like,
yeah.
I love watching videos like this.
No, I do too. It makes me feel not alone.
I thought it would be fun to just talk about it, see if you guys have similar stories, or just, you know, you get to know us better. We're just gonna start painting. This is so fun. I love doing little activities like this.
This eye is ugly. Should we start with our first kiss story?
Yes, everyone's been dying to know this from me for some reason. It's literally not even a good story, but you go first with yours.
So my first kiss, it was the summer before my senior year of high school, and it was this boy that I had met at camp, and I thought he was the cutest thing ever. I was obsessed with him. We hung out most of the summer, and then this was towards the end of the summer, and we were just kind of hanging out like nothing had really happened yet. And I went over to his house to watch like this wrestling match. I don't know.
Wasn't it with his family?
Yeah, it was. Oh my gosh, his whole family was there. It was the Mayweather-McGregor fight.
I remember hearing about that, but I like
there was so much hype surrounding it. I told my mom I'd be home like in like 45 minutes. It was like a 3-hour-long process. She was so mad. She's like, Sophie, you need to come home. It was like 1 in the morning.
What?
I was like, yeah, it was so late. Anyway, he was like, okay, I'll walk you out. And I felt so bad because he was like obviously into the wrestling thing, and I was like not into it whatsoever. And like the match was almost over, and I was like, dang it, I'm gonna make this boy miss the rest of this match. So anyway, he walked me out, and we were just kind of like standing there at my car, and I like lingered there for a while. Whenever we were standing outside of my car, he leaned in, and I don't know if I got nervous or like he got nervous or like it was a mutual thing, I don't know, but one of us dodged, so it turned into a hug.
No,
I forgot about
no.
this. It turned into a hug, and he was like,
haha, like that's not what I thought was gonna happen.
and I was like, no, I didn't want that to happen either. And then it made it 10 times more awkward. And then we kissed. It like, I don't know, it was any normal kiss story. I don't think it was his first kiss either, so it was like kind of messy a little bit.
You think it was his first kiss?
Yeah, I think it was.
Okay.
Did I say wasn't?
Yeah.
I think it was his first kiss, like both of our first kisses. But I remember I was like, okay, like we had our kiss, and I was like, okay, I really have to go. And I like got in my car and was like, oh my God.
Did you have to go like,
I don't want him to see this. But it was a little bit slobbery. It was a little bit slobbery. I like wiped my mouth after, and I was like, it was a sweet moment, and I'm glad that's how my first kiss went.
oh. Okay, mine. You guys have been begging for this story. It's literally nothing. Like, the story's gonna last probably about 10 seconds. It's nothing special at all. You guys know that I had mine so late. You know I had mine so late. Like,
So did I, though. Like, 17, 18. That's
I was
kinda
literally like
old.
18. Everyone's like, oh, I was 12. I was 11 when I had mine. I told new girls in my sorority that I was 18, and they were like, what?
Boys just didn't like me until I like
boys
got
did
older.
not like me in high school.
They did not give me the time of day.
And the ones in high school at my school, I just wasn't into them. So, you know, it's fine. You don't need to feel ashamed for that. But mine happened last year. I don't care if you judge me if it's late. I'm just saying, like, that's when it happened.
No, I really don't. I think that, like, it happens to everyone at their own time.
So, anyway, it was in the dorms, and it was just like us on a couch, and it was like a school night. It was during sorority recruitment, I remember. I felt sick to my stomach because I'd eaten something and it did not settle well with me for dinner that night. And I was like, oh no, I think it's about to happen. And then, ew, I'm cringing thinking about it.
Because I remember we had all, like, we knew you two were
like
out
talking,
there.
we were talking a little
and
bit.
everyone was like, okay, go to your rooms, go to your rooms.
And I was like, guys, like, don't worry about it. Like, but I remember so late, and then
wait, this is bringing back memories.
my sweet mate Kate walked in like as it was probably about to happen, and I know that she was standing by the door. Like, she went into her room, her door was cracked, and I knew that she could just like hear everything that was gonna happen. We were standing up at this point, and he was about to go back to his room, and I had a feeling he was gonna lean in for a kiss because I'm sorry, like the way he was acting, like, I just had a feeling.
You can tell. You can most of the time tell.
And I was like, oh, this is it. I felt like I was gonna throw up because I already felt sick. I don't want to say too much because he could easily watch this. He leaned in. I just remember, like, my mind made him look like a cartoon character.
Huh?
Like the shark from Shark Tale.
What?
should not say this. And then it happened, and then it was just like how you'd expect. It was like not good, it was not bad, it was just like, and then I was like, I'm so sorry. Afterwards I apologized, I was like, I'm so sorry, like that was really awkward.
Dicey.
Of course I said that.
No, I literally apologized after everything. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm so sorry.
And he was like, no, like don't worry. And then I was like, I really gotta go to bed. And I felt so awkward, and then, yeah. So it was that. It was not eventful, weird time in my life.
No, I remember being mortified after mine,
Yeah,
being
I
like,
was
oh my
so
gosh.
embarrassed.
I was like,
I'm
I
awful.
hugged him instead of kissing
I was
him.
so awkward, and then I was like nervous, and I already felt sick. I thought I was gonna throw up. So that's my story, nothing special. On to the next. So our worst date.
Okay, let's
that
do
we've
worst
ever
date.
had. I'm waiting for this to dry, and then I can add the little. I haven't had like a bad date.
I have like, I wouldn't call it a bad date. It's like, it was unfortunate.
Mine was good, and it ended really weird for me. You know which one I'm about to say.
Yes, I do.
You go first, because I just did mine.
Okay, so this is like not a bad date.
Hold on, look at this stem.
Ew.
It's rotten.
This isn't a bad date. It was just like unfortunate how this happened. So me and this boy, this is my senior year of high school. I had this huge crush on him, and I still do.
Tea.
We went to this baseball game together. We were at the baseball game. It was like whatever. I mean, fine.
Weren't you bored?
I
You
was,
told me you
I
were
was like the whole time I was kind of bored, but it's whatever. I was like, you know what? Like, there's more. We're gonna hang out after the game. Like, it'll get more fun. We'll be able to talk more. Like, once the game ends. We got up. The baseball game was over, and I was like, okay. We walk over to the gravel parking lot where he had parked, and I'm like standing there. It's like kind of silent on the way to the car, and all of a sudden I see him go, and I'm like, hey, what?
Hey, what happened?
I don't want to say his name. We'll call him Mark. I was like, what's wrong? And he goes,
Oh my God, you're kidding me.
I'm like, Mark, what? And he's like, my car. Just like keeps saying my car. And I'm like looking around, I'm like, did someone move it? Like
Did it get
where's his
towed?
car? And I look over, and the back of his car is smashed in. Like all like smashed
Wait, was it actually
in.
like
Yes, it was actually like smashed
That's
in.
awful.
It was like one of those moments where I just like could not believe my eyes. And there were like these two older people kind of standing near the car, and they were like, is this your car? And he was like, yeah. And they were like, oh, the visiting team's bus accidentally backed into your car. They went to go get gas, but they'll be right back. I was like,
What are the odds of that happening to your date?
and I was like trying to comfort him. I was like, Mark, what are you gonna do? Like, I didn't know what to say. And he was like, I have to call my dad. My dad's gonna be so mad. So he was kind of like off by himself calling his dad. I was just standing there awkwardly. His dad left, they got everything figured out. And I was like, Mark, do you just wanna, you can go home, like if you're in a bad mood. And he's like, no, we can keep hanging out.
Wow, that's dedication.
I was like, okay. So we went back to my house. I could tell the whole time he was so upset. Like his car just
I
got
would have been
smashed
upset.
in.
I would have been so upset.
And so we like turned on some TV, and I'm not kidding. We were sitting this far away from each other.
So
like literally sitting this far away from each other. And I was like, we sat like this for 30 minutes.
Were you just in silence?
In silence, watching the show, and I like kept kind of trying to be like, haha,
Like,
that's
oh, that's
so funny.
that's funny.
The show was over, and I was like, hey, I have some stuff to do. We should probably, like, you should. And he was like, yeah, you're right. And I was like, okay, I'll walk you out. And then he drove, like got in his car and left. But for like 2 weeks after that, it was so weird whenever I saw him. I'd like walk to class and would be like,
Did he not talk to you after that for a while?
no, we did not talk for a while after that.
Okay, so my story happened last year. It happened right after Christmas break, so like January. And this wasn't a bad date. It was just uncomfortable. So this boy, I feel like he's gonna see this.
You know what? Whatever.
doesn't
Listen to me. If you are one of the boys that are in these stories and you see the video, I don't care.
No offense to you at all. He took me downtown, which was sweet. It was like a good time, but then after we ate dinner, we were just like walking downtown. He took me down by the river on a balcony, and we had ice cream. We were on this river balcony, which was like, oh, cute, whatever. He was like, wow.
Wow, aren't the lights just so beautiful, like on the water like this?
And I was like, yeah, they're really pretty. I'm sure they're also really pretty during the
Aw.
day. And then, oh gosh, it's so cringy.
This is
oh,
uncomfy.
oh my gosh.
This is so uncomfortable.
I had a feeling this was gonna happen. So then he was like,
You got a little something on your lip.
Ew!
I acted like I didn't know what he was doing. I was like, oh, what do you mean? He leaned in and he like moved my hand. He tried to kiss me but he literally only like kissed my bottom lip, like on the side, like right here, like just the bottom. And I was paralyzed in shock. I couldn't move. I feel bad for saying this. I hope, like, nothing against this guy, but he was like biting my bottom lip. And I was like, what is going on? And I was paralyzed in shock. I couldn't really move.
That's like at a point where you can't fix anything.
No, there was nothing I could have done in that moment. So I was just standing still, and then I like laughed uncomfortably, which is so awkward. And then he pulled away, and then he said,
I will get fired up about
no, this is actually a little bit rude. He was like,
Oh, was that someone's first kiss?
I was like,
You were the one that bit my bottom lip like that,
I was
you
like,
weirdo.
actually, no. He was like, it was, wasn't it? I'm like, no, actually, it wasn't.
I remember I was like, how was the date? And you were like, Sophie, he bit my bottom lip off and then acted like it was my fault.
But yeah, that happened. It wasn't a bad date, but that was just a really uncomfortable moment.
Yeah, no, I can't think of something where like I went on a date and someone was really disrespectful.
No,
or,
like that never happened. He was really respectful to me.
Okay.
Like, that guy was really respectful. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about our best date stories.
Aww.
Okay, so do you wanna go first, Sophie, since I
Sure.
just win?
Okay, I really haven't been on that many dates in my time, but there's this one date that I think, I'm not kidding, was the best date. Like,
Do I know about this?
so there was this boy, we went to high school together, this was my junior year. He was in one of my classes, and I remember thinking he was like the cutest, funniest thing ever. I had a crush on him for like a while, but this was like the first time we ever had a class together. I remember like being into him, but I was kind of like, I don't think he likes me. Like, I was just kind of like, whatever, like it's just a friendship type thing. He kept trying to get me to go to Young Life because him and his friends would go
Good
there.
Christian boy.
Him and his
My
friends would go there.
weakness.
Looking back on it, he wanted to hang out with me, like wanted me to go there. But
at
I
the
remember
time you were like naive about
at
it.
the time I was like, oh yeah, I don't know, I think I might be busy tonight. Like I thought he was just like, you know,
trying to
those
be
people that
friendly.
are so nice that are like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this tonight. Like come to
Yes.
this club. But anyway, he kept trying to get me to go to Young Life, and then we had each other's numbers because we were in the same class. And I remember one night he called me out of nowhere, and my heart literally stopped.
I would have been so scared to answer the phone.
I literally sat there and stared at it. He called me and was like, hey Sophie, what are you doing right now? And I was like, I'm watching TV with my family. Why, what's up? And he was like, I wanted to know like if you wanted to get milkshakes or something. I literally was on the phone like,
My
I was
heart
like-
would have like went 1,000
oh my
beats.
gosh, yeah, can I call you back? Let me talk to my mom. And it was like 9:30ish, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
And I was so nervous. I know if I tell my mom that I'm gonna go get milkshakes with this random boy, like she's gonna be weird about it. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna tell him that I'm not available right now. Yes, I know, because I was so nervous. Like before this point, boys like never
Boys
ever
did
had
not
talked
like
to me.
boys did not talk to me in high school at all.
I like called him back or texted him and was like, hey, I'm so sorry. My mom says that I can't, but I'd love to another time. And he responded with, no, that's fine. I don't even like milkshakes that much. I just thought you would. And the next day he texted me and was like, want to go get breakfast food on Saturday? We went to the cutest little breakfast place, and he like picked me up from my house. Conversation flowed the whole time. He was so nice, and it was not awkward at all. And this was the first time I'd ever been around a boy and like had been able to eat my food.
Really? Because you were able to relax.
Yeah,
a
I
little
was like
bit.
able to relax. It was so chill. I don't know. He was so nice, and the conversation was good the whole time.
Aw,
and I was
love
like
that.
head over heels for him. But I don't know. We didn't go on another date, which is upsetting. But I was in love with him. So if he's watching this, know that it was the best date of my life.
So mine also happened last year. Literally all my stories are from last year. Mine was super fun. It was over spring break, and this boy invited me to go to the Great Wolf Lodge with him, which is like this water park. And I remember I was so nervous, and I like drove there. It was probably like 30 minutes away, and he got us in, and like I met him in the lobby, and I was like shaking. I was so nervous, but I was excited. And then we just spent a few hours going down slides.
That makes me so happy.
Our
That's a cute date. Like
I
really
know,
cute
I love
date.
like cute ideas like that, like going to a water park or something. We were joking around.
I think-
so. Yeah, I loved that. That was super fun. I thought it was unique too. Like guys don't really
Yeah, I
ask
know. I
girls
feel
to
like
do
he
stuff
didn't
like that.
I feel like people don't normally like.
I know. I love like fun adventure type stuff. So that is one of my fave dates, I guess. Before dates, I always get so nervous, and I'm always like, no, guys, I don't want to go on this date anymore. I can't. And it became like a quote in the dorm.
We
like,
would always be like, no, even if it wasn't a date that we didn't want to go on, we'd always be like, I don't want to go on this date. Like no matter what it
became a
pertained
quote,
to.
like we had a quote a sticky wall quote. What? We had a sticky note wall with like quotes that we all said, and one of them was, I don't want to go on this date, because there were so many times where I'd be like, guys, no, I'm too nervous, I don't want to go on this date.
No, okay, this is kind of embarrassing. With my boyfriend in high school, I remember I'd always be nervous that I didn't have something to say, so I'd write down things that happened to me throughout my week. so that whenever we went to hang out, it wouldn't be awkward. Tell me how crackhead that is.
I have 2 more stories. They're pretty fast. I don't want to keep you guys forever. But this boy asked to take me out on Valentine's Day last year. He like picked me up in his huge truck. I could barely get in.
And me and my friend Michael
Was like, do not go out with that guy. And I was like, I already said yes, it's too late. Michael saw me like get into his truck.
No, me and Michael were standing out like near the laundry room and I was like, oh, Sophia just like left. And we were literally looking out this tiny window to see them.
It was so awkward because like at that point I was like, oh gosh, this is gonna be really weird. And they were just watching me after telling me not to go, but I couldn't cancel.
It was Valentine's Day.
I was like, what? So I got in his car, struggled to get in. He was like blasting country music. And then we went to this pizza place and I was like really trying my best to keep the conversation going. It like flowed, I guess, but he wasn't really giving me much to work with. And I was just like, so, did you do any sports in high school?
No, if you were on a date and a boy was like, oh my gosh, like, I love the beach, I would literally be like, no way, I love the beach. I would be like, no way, I literally love the beach too. What are the odds we both love the beach? Like,
so we went to this pizza place and it was like fine, but I was ready to leave. So I had homework to do. And I was like, all right, I'm just ready to go home, call it a day. And the check sat on the table for like 30 minutes. And I was like, I mean, I assume he's paying because he's the one who invited me. That's like just rule of thumb. Like if you invite someone, you're the one who pays, right?
Yes.
Then I like went to the bathroom and when I came back, it still wasn't paid, but he was like doing it. So thank goodness. That's that. It was just really uncomfy. So then this other story.
Okay, this is the funniest story. I die laughing every time Sophia tells this story.
So I went to this Chinese restaurant with this boy and he was really sweet. On the way back, he was driving me home and it was rainy and dark. And I don't think he knew where he was driving because he almost went on a curb and it was so dark. And I was like, go left, left, left. He was like, ah!
You know how when you're like in the car with someone and you're like slightly panicked?
I was like saying my conversation, like talking about whatever. I was like, yeah, you know, like skateboarding can be fun sometimes. Oh, go left, yeah. But I was skateboarding the other day. Left, left, left.
Like, you'll be in the car and you're kind of sitting like this. You're like, and so then I'm right here.
Swerving. So that was really funny. That's my story.
I think about Sophia being in that car being like, left here, and like, because I know what it's like to be that panicked.
It was so funny. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed all these random stories. I feel like we sound like we're so experienced, but the thing is, like,
we're not.
We just had some funny stories, I guess
just some
you could
funny
say.
stories. I feel like everybody will get like funny stories.
The video's probably gonna be so long, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this type of thing. If you want anything similar, comment down below and follow our Instagrams because we post a lot. We post a lot over there. These are our pumpkins. Mine is not that cute.
Mine says boo and some eyes on it.
Yours is adorable.
Thank you.
And if you guys have a funny boy story, like, please tell me in the comments. I want to hear, like, we want to read them. So if you have a funny boy story, bad boy story, good boy story, anything, just list it below. Or girl story, whatever. So make sure, my Jackie. Make sure to subscribe for more fun videos. We love you guys. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
And I'll talk to you very soon. Bye. Let's reach. Bye.